Hello, it's Mike Young from BeyondYourWeddingDay.com, and I'm here to talk to you about having a rainy day fund. Now, that may sound awfully old school, but it's also very smart. Have some money put aside in case an emergency comes up. Now, a lot of people probably realize and wish that they could, but they just never get around to getting an emergency fund set up, and I am here to encourage you to do so as soon as possible. And sometimes I know it helps to actually accomplish something when you have a specific goal and know how to go about doing it and where to put the money and that kind of thing. So let me just give you some quick rundown advice on how to get your emergency fund set up. First of all, you need to determine how much. Now, it kind of depends. If you are in the process of getting out of debt, then I recommend that you just put aside about $1,000. That will cover little things that come up that aren't covered by insurance. Little like a transmission in your car or something. These things that will most likely fall under $1,000, but that may come up while you're trying to get out of debt, because if you don't have that $1,000 sitting there, if something does come up, you will have to use debt to take care of it, which defeats the purpose of trying to get out of debt. So that's why you need to have that in place. But if you're already out of debt, or once you get out of debt, then what I recommend, and most financial experts recommend, is having a good, solid, large emergency fund in place, usually 3 to 6 months worth of expenses. So in other words, if you figure out your budget and to keep your household running, that you spend about $3,000 a month, let's say, then you need to have at a very minimum $9,000, probably closer to $18,000. And if you have a very volatile work environment where you could get laid off anytime, or if you have major events coming down the pike, for sure, like a baby or on the way or something like that, you might even make it even bigger yet. But what you want to do is have that money set aside. It's mostly there in case you would get laid off your job or something like that, that you could live off of that money for several months at a time. Now, where do you put the money? Keep in mind, it's not an investment. It's just there for emergencies. So you don't need it in any kind of mutual fund, any kind of money that's going to produce a big return. Now, I know especially you guys are probably thinking, but with that large amount of money, I want to be able to make money. That is not the point. So just, a money market account is fine with check writing capabilities. Under normal circumstances, you'll get 3 to 5% interest off of that. Right now when I'm recording this, it's 2011. And so if you're watching it around this time for the last 2 or 3 years, basically money markets are about breaking even, but so is every other kind of savings account. So it doesn't really do any good to put anywhere else. So money market is still what I have mine in. That way, when everything returns back to normal, you'll at least make a little money off it. But the key is that it's very liquid. You can get to it immediately in case you have to start writing some big checks. So again, please don't delay. Get that emergency fund in place. It is a huge key into building that strong foundation for your financial future. Again, I'm Mike Young from BeyondYourWeddingDay.com.